Hey guys, how you doing? How's your day going? And if it's just starting, how was your night? Hope you had an amazing and a beautiful night rest. For those of you who don't know this yet, my name is Praise, and you're currently tuned into my channel. Yay! So it's been long since I did this type of video, so I actually don't know which game to play, but you know what? As I'm just going through the question out there, what gameplay do you want to see me use? It doesn't matter what type of game, mobile game, PC game, any game you want to see me use for gameplay. Let me know. So whenever I just want to come out here and just talk with you guys, I would put something that you would actually want to see. Excuse me, I've been really sick for some days now, so I haven't exactly been able to record a new video, and I have been having programmer's block. Yeah, I just lost my creativity for what program to work on, but I'm back, and it was kind of like throughout that period that inspired me to make this video. So when I started programming newly, I never knew what project I wanted to create. Because if I go and I Google, okay, beginners programs for C++, or I see beginners programs for Python, I'm just seeing things that I don't even know how to create. Because the only thing I knew, I didn't know how to work with frameworks then. I didn't even know that, for example, Python, you could work with Tinker, and I'm going to enjoy it. Is it Tinker or is Tinker? I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, you get my drift. And most of those programs required you to go into it graphically. And yes, now that I have, I'm a little bit more experienced in programming, I know very well that there's a way you can go on about it. With your normal terminal programs, you can literally create all those weird complex programs that they gave you with your terminals. But back then I didn't know it, and I was searching for beginners project, mind you. But I decided that it would be nice if I created a video that kind of like addressed that program. I'm going to split this into sections. It's still going to be under, I'll have multiple sections. I'll have a multiple series. I'll have my main Python series, and I'll kind of have like, I don't know, I'll call it kind of like a mentorship type program for anyone who's just looking to getting into development. So yeah, the first and most important question: how do I know what project to work on or to use and practice? It depends. Are you creating this project to learn your logical skills? You know, your it has to do with like your whole algorithmic processing and stuff like that. There are special programs which tend to answer to those type of projects, and I would give you a link where you can find this. It's gonna be one of the links in the description. I don't know if it's gonna be the first one. Then if you are looking for a kind of program to boost your creativity, there is that too. And to just test, if you want another one to just test your skills in that language, we have all those. But people might be like, okay, this doesn't exactly answer my questions, because now like the tech field is just becoming extremely broad, and we'll be like, okay, this works for me as a full stack developer, it works for me as a software developer, I am into cyber, how does this help me? I'm into artificial intelligence, how does this help me? It really doesn't matter. You would need, that's why I'm not really going detailed here, because I personally am not even covering all fields. Like I have zero idea of what a cybersecurity personnel would even need to do to train their skills. I have a zero idea of a machine. I have quite an idea. I'll be lying if I say I have zero, but you get what I'm trying to say. But if you just listen to the video, you would be able to, from the few things I'm gonna say, get an idea on what you personally need to do for yourself. So the first thing, let's look on how we'll decide on projects to build our skills. I'm sorry, I'm going to be coughing a lot. Let's check on projects that will help develop our skills. The first thing you need to do is know that you are learning this language for the language. You are still a beginner. We're doing everything on beginner's level. This video is hashtag beginner. So you are new to the language. You are not applying it in any way. So this is a kind of like a general thing for everyone as long as you work with the language. For example, Python. Everybody uses Python. It doesn't matter what field you're in. So we're learning it generally. What do? You look for projects that you don't need to start installing excess library. Now, most time, I'm not saying you wouldn't work with libraries. There are basic inputs you're working with, but these inputs should be things that are like you really don't need to install it per se. You can just import it from a library that already comes once you're installing the software. And you're looking at projects that don't really involve you to think too much. Very basic things that the logic reasoning behind is very simple. And another mistake people make, this one is even generally, it doesn't matter what level you're at. You may be very good in the language, but you realize you are finding it hard to create projects. This case, people fail to kind of outline their pseudocode. They fail to outline the algorithm. And like, it's funny because people like in school, they're teaching you all these things and you don't see how you need it, but you need it. It comes, you have to find a way to implement it. Right now, I'm working with some maths that I hated back then in school. Although the only maths that I really use most of the time is just, I'm calling it all this algorithmic reasoning and probability, stuff like that. But you need to have like a step-by-step process which you want to follow to achieve that goal. Then you start implementing I don't know if you remember big O notation. That is another type of math you come across, the big O notation of it all. You have like different methods, which, because there is no thing that you do in this world that has only one way. Everything must have at least 2 or more ways which you can go about it, and one will surely be better than the other. So you would have to outline all the solutions to approaching a given problem and find out which one is better. Oh gosh, I'm teaching myself school right now. I feel like I'm old and I'm like doing refresher things. I didn't know. I'm still in school. But you get what I'm trying to say. So once you have found like the method you want to use to approach the problem, and you have gotten, or for whatever language you are using, you take. But now let's find how we're going to get the problem on. So like I said, it has to be something that's very basic, something that we don't need you to start doing like a whole a whole project, a whole presentation on how to go about solving the problem. Things very basic. Now I'm sure you already heard it. These are things everybody tells you. Implementing things that involve calculations, building a calculator. If you build a calculator, you have to cover arithmetic cues, receiving input, receiving output. You need to be able to do control flow. These things I listed are the things that your project should answer. Do you make use of operations or the operators in the program? Do you make use of control flow? Can you handle exceptions? Well, how is your input output game? Those are like, it's 4 things I listed, right? All those things I listed are the main things that every program you are working on for this beginner's level should cover. You should be able to implement all these things. You should be able to make use of operators, multiple types of operators. Remember, we have different types. There are the arithmetic, the Boolean, I actually don't know them by names. But you get what I'm saying. I think I did a video on it though. Next, you want to have one that covers input and output, receiving input from the users, giving out output. Let me see, having input and output, things that I remember from the languages I've done. I've actually not learned so much languages, funny enough. I'm going to mix these, but C and C++, I've learned those two. One of them or both use, I think count is for like COUT is for output, and CIN or CINQ is for input. Then you have this greater than, less than. Oh, I remember that language before when I was learning this. Oh my god! I think I'm going to go back to that language. I'm going to do that. Then for Python, we already know this, the easiest of them all. Print is for output, input is for input. What other language have I learned? I've forgotten all the other languages I've learned. HTML isn't a language, CSS isn't a language. I have never been a fan of JavaScript. I'm not a JavaScript programmer, no. But yeah, those are actually all the only languages I've learned. Just C, C++, and Python. But you get what I'm saying, your input, your output, then conditionals, control flow, loops. You should be able to implement all those things. So a calculator covers those. It covers all of them. So if you want me to explain this, I'm going to release a video like few days after this, and we're going to build a calculator in Python. And maybe if I'm feeling a bit, I don't know, I may build a calculator in C++, trying to see how much I remember from the language. But yeah, next, if you want to take a step forward, going into problem solving, that is implementing the language to solving world problems. This isn't exactly a beginner's project. This is more intermediate, because now we believe you understand the language to an extent. Now you want to be able to apply the language to things that actually affect people, to real world problems. That's when this one, now you may not have to be the one exactly to set up these questions. There are special sites like LeetCode. I said I would leave the link below. LeetCode, they will generate questions for you to solve. Like they'll ask, like, okay, you were in a baseball game and this happened and you need to do this and they need this and these are the conditions that were given. Create a program that does this. You get? So that is more of the type of intermediate projects people should be working on. And then finally, for the advanced stage, actually I said I was supposed to be covering, but I'm just rushing through everything. So for the advanced stage, that's when you would now start testing your creativity. You understand the language, you have your technical games on fleek, you can solve. Whoosh, no! Oh! No! Oh! No! Sorry! No! Wow. The sickness has really gotten to me. But what am I saying? So now it's just your creativity. How much can you come? This is when you just want to go wild. Now we believe you've understood the language, you are able to implement the language, you know what field you want to apply the language in, and you have gone into that field. Now usually before you reach here, you need to learn about the field. For example, now let's use data science as our case study. If you are learning for data science, you need to now go and learn algorithms, you need to go and learn all the other sequences and non-sequences, whatever, the mathematical aspects of data science. You need to learn any other aspect that is not the programming. And you understand what I'm trying to say? You learn every other thing that is pertaining to that language that is not the programming, because we've already covered that field. Once you learn that, now you understand the field, so now you know how you're going to implement the knowledge you have into that field. I mean, and once you have that settled, you're going to want to pick up problems that solve the field. For example, in a school environment, if let's say I am okay, let me see, okay. I'm sorry, okay. Let's say, for example, I am a software developer and I am going into the educational field. I want to make a change in the system of education. I can go and look what's one thing that we don't have very well that's in this field. For example, one very common thing, online school, especially now that everyone is learning from home. We want to have one platform that does everything. I have gotten the problem. I understand the language. Now I'm going to now settle down, looking at different methods which you can use to solve said problem and develop the project. This is now when you would want to work with other fields, because there is no program that stands alone. I'm not saying you cannot, but no man is an island. So this is when you want to start working with UI UX developer, someone who will style it to make it look better, because user interface is very important. You want to work with someone who, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But I've actually explained every single thing that you need to explain here. So I hope this video was helpful. If it helped you in any way, share it to someone you think would want to hear this. And give me a like, please subscribe, and also check out my TikTok. My TikTok is supposed to be more tech savvy, basic shit you should know in the field. And let's get to know each other. Hope to see you guys here next time. And yeah, I will be releasing a video some days following this video where we're gonna cover, what did I say? Yes, we're going to build a calculator, and I'm going to show you my whole thinking process. My thinking process is confused, so the video is going to be confusing. But you know what? I'm just doing me, and you to just do you. We'll build the calculator together, and maybe you can let me know below this video if you want me to do that. I was thinking about developing like a kind of like a forum where we can just, what? No. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you guys here next time. And don't forget to have a nice day. And yeah, I just got the game. I just got the game. I know the game I'm going to use. There's this game I'm obsessed with because I love. Okay, let me tell you my passion. One thing, another passion of mine is culinary art. I love seeing people cook amazing food. The eating is not the nice part. Just cooking, I love the preparation. It's beautiful. There's this game that travels, like takes you around the world to cook local dishes. It makes me feel as if I'm my own little like I'm on my own little adventure with Gordon Ramsay or whoever, and just learning your culture without actually having to leave my room. So yeah, I'm gonna use that gameplay. The game is no longer available on Play Store, but if you want me to leave the game for you to download for Android users, obviously, let me know. Hopefully that's not illegal. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I learned the video already. Have a nice day. Good night. It's nice here. Bye.